So I figured since the Titans just traded for Julio Jones, I could make a video talking about A.J. Brown and what he brings to the Tennessee Titans, what he does well. He was looking like he was going to be the #1 guy there until they got Julio Jones. Now I think Julio will probably be the one guy. But, A.J. Brown was the #1 receiver last year, and he thrived in that role. So I certainly think he's very good, and I want to talk about what he does so well. So like on this play, it's zone coverage, and this is basically the main thing that the Titans do. And in fact, it's probably, if there are people who criticize A.J. Brown, it probably is the main criticism he would get. It's zone coverage. You're going to run play action and have him go over the middle. This is very effective, and it's kind of something that really works because you have Derrick Henry, who is just amazing. And so the opposing defense, very focused on Derrick Henry. They'll probably bite on the play action, which will open things up, get linebackers out of position, and Brown over the middle can get open. But right when this play starts, watch what Brown does. It's very interesting. Brown's kind of faking as though he might be doing something else. He's not giving away what he's doing. And that's kind of my main point about A.J. Brown. Is he in a system that makes things easier on him? Of course. I don't think you could deny that. However, does he also do a great job in this system to really help out the system as a whole and get more yards? Yeah, he does. He's a good route runner. I would like to see him be a bit more creative. We'll get into that in a second. But he does do a pretty good job and is great at these types of routes. Because watch how he does then get over the middle. And he's so explosive, which makes things work so much better. So really good play there from A.J. Brown. And that's kind of my main point, is he's willing to do some little things that you don't see too often, but it can really come in handy. And that's a big way that he's able to have success in a simple offense. And we also have something like this. So one of the things I talk about a good amount is I want to see someone who can make explosive plays happen. Someone who can turn a 10-yard play into a touchdown, right? And that's one of the things I think Julio Jones will really bring to the table. But it's not just Jones. A.J. Brown also brings that to the table. We saw that last year. So on this play, it's the exact same thing, basically. It's that cover 3 zone. He's running over the middle, so the setup is all the same. And right when this play starts, kind of does the same thing. Good move, makes the catch. Actually, kind of a tight window there. Tannehill could have maybe held on a second longer, but he was under pressure, so he wanted to get rid of it a little bit quicker. But anyways, Brown makes the catch. You see that the safety is coming down, trying to make this play. And a lot of times in this system, you want a wide receiver who can just make that safety miss. Because think about it. If he makes the catch, which he already has, and if he just gets tackled immediately, well, okay, you got past the 35-yard line, you got a first down. But what's the difference between, the safety tackling you immediately and the safety not tackling you immediately? That's a huge difference in a football game. And as you see, the Pittsburgh safety kind of misread it a little bit, and Brown just able to run by him. So, again, you could blame the safety if you want to. That I don't think is unfair. But I also think a big reason why that worked so well for A.J. Brown is because he's so explosive that he kind of gets people to not realize that how fast he's going and exactly what angle to take. Typically, when you see guys who make safeties miss, it's usually less a safety being an idiot, and it's usually more just a wide receiver being very explosive, or a halfback, or whatever position it was. And so then we have something like this, because it's not just his explosiveness, and it's not just the fact that he is good at running these types of routes. There's one more key aspect of his game, and it's just physicality. I mean, we've seen, how many highlight reels have we seen of him just being a great physical receiver? The guy's only 6 feet tall, but he's 227 pounds. So again, he's huge. I mean, DK Metcalf is 4 inches taller, but only 2 pounds heavier. So that's kind of the size we're working with A.J. Brown. He can run you over, and so that works on these types of plays. So again, same route. I mean it. They'll run this a lot. This is not an exaggeration. This entire concept is a huge part of their game. And again, watch how Brown's able to run over. He is open right here. And again, I feel like Tannehill could have gotten there a little bit quicker, but fine, it is what it is. It's also not going to be the most accurate throw. Tannehill's very good. Every now and then doesn't make the most accurate throw. It is what it is. However, watch how Brown makes a tough catch, and then is just able to break a tackle and run, and look at what he's going to do in open space. I mean, this is some crazy stuff right here. So that's physicality a little bit. And, we've seen him make more highlight reel level plays, but this one probably just shows how much that matters, because he broke a tackle from a safety, which then allowed him to pick up so many more yards where that wouldn't have happened. So the fact that he can make that safety miss sometimes is a huge plus, especially in this Titans offense. It matters much more in a Titans offense than maybe any other offense to be able to make guys miss like Brown can. And there is stuff like this too, because, this is a good example of sort of building off of that. I mean, you see Justin Jefferson, who Minnesota runs a very similar offense, at least they did last year. And you saw Jefferson, a lot of his yards came from those kind of similar stuff, but then he was able to use his route running to break off and do other stuff. And while I'm not sure Brown's quite on that level in terms of route running, at least he hasn't been, I would like to, and I would actually like to see him maybe be a little bit better at that. There still is some good stuff, and he can use it to break off, and this is an example of that. Watch how, again, you're going to see his explosiveness right here, and then he kind of cuts very well and is able to make the catch. That's a good example, though, I think, of good and bad. You see his explosiveness, you see how he can move. The one thing I would like to see, though, is just maybe fake as though you're going to the over the middle and then get to the outside. That'll get the corner to believe that because he's expecting you to go there. So don't be afraid to use some route running, help yourself out, get a little bit more open. And, he still is young. I wouldn't be shocked to see him sort of develop that as he gets older and as he becomes a better player. I mean, the guy's 23 years old currently. He turns 24 this month, but he's 23 currently. So that shows how young he is. And then we have something like this. So on this one, it's going to be completely different. So I want to talk just about man coverage because I do feel like A.J. Brown could still be effective in any system. I think he's most effective in the system that he's currently playing in. He's most well equipped for this system. But at the same time, I do think you put him in a system where he has to win against man. He is capable of doing that from time to time. Although, again, I would say I kind of wish he would be a little bit better with his route running and footwork and things of that. His footwork is great. He just doesn't rely on it as much as I would like to see him use it, use it more. I think he could use it more. Because watch, he doesn't really do anything at the line. He just starts running deep, but he's explosive enough that despite not a ton of separation, he makes a contested catch and dives. Almost reminds me of the Dez Bryant no catch a little bit, where he dives just after making the grab, but gets a touchdown. So good play by A.J. Brown right there, and that's what Brown can do. He's a really good player, and again, A.J. Brown is kind of one of the many examples of my case study that I say about how don't worry about drafting a receiver in the first round. You can use second-round picks to get good receivers. Well, Tennessee has maybe the best 1-2 punch in the NFL of A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, and they used 2 second-round picks to do that, so that's pretty great. I am very much looking forward to seeing how A.J. Brown will do as kind of just like a number 2 guy, which I'm assuming will be the case. Some people have said, well, Julio Jones will be the number 2 guy. I think that's crazy. I think Julio Jones is either a number 1 guy or like he'll be injured and won't be able to play. I can't imagine a world where Julio Jones is like just an 800-yard receiver. That doesn't function in my head. I think Jones will be great, and I think A.J. Brown will be really good and should be a really fun 1-2 punch in this offense. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.